let's just play a little what-if game for a second. What if the most protected person in an entire country just vanished? No clues, no demands, not a single trace. And what if the reason he was taken wasn't for power or for money, but to force the entire world to look at a truth it's been ignoring? Well, that's the wild scenario we're diving into today. It all starts with this simple, kind of chilling line. One night, the whole world was asleep with its problems. Just a totally normal night, right? But while everyone was sleeping, something was set in motion that was about to turn the world completely upside down. And when the sun came up, people didn't wake up to business as usual. They woke up to absolute, unbelievable chaos. See, this story doesn't start with a loud explosion, but with a terrifying silence. Just picture it for a second. You grab your phone, you turn on the TV, and every single screen, every single alert is flashing the same impossible headline. It's a message sending shockwaves from one side of the globe to the other. And just like that, he's gone. The leader of a nation, a guy who is supposed to be one of the most guarded people on Earth, has disappeared from inside his own presidential palace. The first theories were, all over the place. But the truth was way, way stranger. The thing that made this so spooky wasn't what happened, but what didn't happen. There were no signs of a struggle, no doors kicked in, no dramatic ransom video from some shadowy group. One second he was there, and the next, he just wasn't. It was clean, it was surgical, and it was completely baffling. So, you've got no witnesses, no physical evidence? Where do you even start? Well, turns out there was one tiny clue, a little, almost invisible glitch in the matrix. The whole investigation ended up hanging by a single thread: the palace's super high-tech security system. Investigators are just glued to the screens, scrubbing through hours and hours of footage, looking for anything. And then they find it. 7. That's it. Not 7 minutes, not even 70 seconds. This whole massive international incident, it all went down in the time it takes to tie your shoe. Just 7 seconds. For that tiny sliver of time, every single camera in the palace went completely dark. No signal, no static, just nothing. It was like a ghost in the machine. And the sequence of events was terrifyingly simple. Before the blackout, you see the president sitting in his chair. The cameras flicker back on 7 seconds later, and the chair is empty. It's like he was just deleted. Okay, but this is where the story pivots hard. This goes from being a mystery to a global threat. Because this wasn't some crime done in the dark. This was a message being delivered for the whole world to see. The next day, a totally untraceable, encrypted message gets blasted out. And it's not sent to the FBI or the CIA. Nope, it's sent to the media. The person behind this didn't want a quiet negotiation. They wanted an audience. And there it is, the first demand. And it has absolutely nothing to do with getting the president back safely. The abduction itself wasn't the point. It was just the first move on the chessboard. The president wasn't the target. He was the key to unlocking something else. So you see, this wasn't your run-of-the-mill kidnapping. That's usually a crime of greed, right? For money, for power. But this was positioned as something totally different. An act of revelation. A move designed to drag a secret out into the light. Which, of course, brings us to the absolute heart of this whole thing. What could possibly be hidden in one file that would make someone pull a stunt of this magnitude? I mean, that's a heavy question, isn't it? The stakes are just astronomically high. The message is basically saying that whatever is in this file is more important, more valuable than the life of a world leader. So, according to the story, this file was basically a political atom bomb. We're not talking about small-time corruption here. We're talking about massive legal oil deals, secret, under-the-table pacts with other global superpowers, and the huge lie that was propping up the entire economy of a continent. This wasn't just dirt. This was the kind of stuff that starts wars. And the person who did all this? Not your typical villain. The story paints a picture of someone who is a product of the very same corrupt system they're trying to burn down. Someone who lives by this one really terrifying idea, that when the law is broken, you have to break the law to find justice. All of this builds to one final, crucial takeaway from this whole event. The focus starts to shift. We've been asking what and how, but the real question is why. It's the one question that's been hanging over this whole thing from the very beginning, the ultimate loose end. Where is he? But here's the twist. The story challenges us to stop and think for a second. It suggests that by focusing on the missing man, we're actually missing the entire point of why he was taken in the first place. The real question here isn't about the fate of one person. It's about something way, way bigger, something that involves every single one of us. And that is the final thought this story leaves us with. It's not really about a missing president at all. It's a question aimed at all of us. Is the world ready to hear a truth so explosive that even a nation's most powerful leader can be taken to reveal it? Are we willing to face things that make us uncomfortable, even if it shakes the foundations of everything we know? Really, what is the price